If Shaka Zulu met crisis with spears and regiments, Queen Nzinga met it with something even sharper, her mind, and occasionally a chair. Nzinga ruled the kingdoms of Ndongo and Matamba in present-day northern Angola during the 17th century when the Atlantic slave trade expanded and Portuguese power tightened along the coast. African rulers were increasingly forced to choose between submission, collaboration, or disappearance. Nzinga chose a fourth path, outmaneuvering everyone. Welcome back to African Biographies, where we meet African leaders not as distant legends, but as people navigating impossible worlds. Born around 1583, Nzinga entered a region under siege. Portuguese forces sought land, captives, and control. Warfare was constant, politics unstable, and slavery reshaped power across Central Africa. This was not a gentle era to inherit authority, especially as a woman. Nzinga first gained prominence not on the battlefield, but at the negotiating table. In 1622, she was sent to meet the Portuguese governor. Chairs were arranged for Portuguese officials. For Nzinga, only a mat was offered. The gesture was deliberate, a signal of subordination reserved for those considered already conquered. Nzinga did not protest. An attendant knelt, whether by command or instinct, and Nzinga sat on his back, addressing the governor eye to eye. The message was unmistakable. She would negotiate, but she would not bow. Negotiations proceeded. This moment reveals Nzinga's grasp of power as performance. She converted to Christianity when it suited her, took the name Donna Ana, and later abandoned it when alliances shifted. She dressed, spoke, and ruled in ways that compelled Europeans to take her seriously, even when they deeply resented her authority. Diplomacy alone, however, was insufficient. As pressure mounted, Nzinga turned to warfare, leading armies, forging alliances with rival African states, and even partnering with the Dutch. When confronting an empire, she understood that survival required flexibility. Nzinga also redefined gendered power. She ruled as king, commanded male warriors, and bent social norms not for symbolism, but for survival. In a world where weakness invited conquest, she refused to perform submission. For decades, Nzinga resisted Portuguese domination, transforming Matamba into a refuge for those fleeing enslavement. She died in 1663, in her 80s, an extraordinary lifespan for someone who spent much of her life at war. Remembered as warrior queen, Nzinga was strategist of survival, who turned empire against itself herself.